Success in business requires commitment from owner to staff. In this edition of Tacoma Means Business, Andrew Fry helps identify what's required to succeed in today's small business world.
As a small business and one that you're trying to grow, obviously revenue is a singularly important thing to you, and therefore you want to bring in as many customers as you can. Now, there's a danger in that, and one of the hardest things you're going to want to do, because that money is so important to bring in, is actually fire some of your customers. Well, there are 4 types of customers that you might want to consider letting go and severing ties with, because they're actually doing more harm to your business. So the first one is the one who bullies, the one who feels that their business is so much bigger and so much more important than the service you're providing that they will call and yell or complain and push your staff and you during the course of that. It's a dynamic in a relationship. Don't put up with the bully. In my years that I was working and doing web design and development, once or twice we'd have a company that would feel as though they could dictate everything that we were doing, even though we'd have 55, 60 clients. And if they're treating your employees poorly, your employees aren't even going to want to come into work. If that's happening, don't put up with the bully. Finish the work, turn it over, and get rid of them. It'll help you out. The other one is actually the time sink. The customer who loves you and loves your work and always wants a little bit more or has a question several times a day. They can be great people, and a lot of times these are small companies or the companies that don't necessarily have the budget for what you're doing, and so they're going to squeeze that last bit out of you in order to make certain that every dime that they've spent is put to the best use. Now, this isn't necessarily an adversarial relationship, but you will need to ask yourself at some point in time, how much care and feeding do I and my employees have to give this customer? And are we getting back in revenue what they're asking? The third one is the nickel and dimer. They're different than the time sink. The time sink is really just taking all of your time, asking the questions, constantly tying up your communications line. The nickel and dimer is the one who's going to squeeze every last penny and make late payments. 47% of small business customers don't pay their invoices on time. And they leverage that to get more and more out of you. If you can identify one of your customers who is a nickel and dimer, go with the customers you have the stronger relationship with, where the value is both ways, where the solutions that you're providing is of greater value to them than what they're paying you, and you want to continue working together. The fourth category is one that kind of goes against the maxim of the customer is always right. You should try to adhere to this, because what you do want to have is customer satisfaction. But there are some people that cannot be pleased, that there are no pleasing them, and they're going to go online and complain. Now, online reviews are a great reflective process to see what it is that you can do better. And oftentimes, if you get an online review that is not positive, you go back to that customer and you say, we're sorry that you had that experience. What can we do better next time? And is there anything that we can do to help you? And that's great. But there are quite a few customers and people who will never be satisfied, and they will continue to make those negative reviews. Cut them off. No longer serve them as a customer. They are not good for your business. You want people coming in, you want that revenue. But keep in mind that if someone's bullying you, if taking up all your time, if they are nickel and diming you, and if they are just constantly complaining, you are better off sticking with the customers who are a better fit.
For more information on Tacoma Means Business, log on to makeitTacoma.com.